Good evening. We do not have a member of the Ministerial Alliance with us this evening, so we will stand for a moment of silence. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Makes it way easier.
I call the October 20th, 2025 Board of Aldermen meeting to order. City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Rachel Comer, Melissa Johnson,
Here.
Tracy Newcomer,
Here.
Shane Shawbaker,
Here.
Pam Pope,
Here.
Kelly Neto,
Here.
and Mayor Dana Webb.
Here, thank you. The next item on the agenda is new business, deletions, or continuances. We do not have any of those this evening, so we will move on to public comments. Do we have any public comments this evening?
There are none.
Thank you. No public comments this evening, so we will move on to the consent agenda. These items are considered on the consent agenda so that members of the Board of Aldermen, by unanimous consent, can designate routine items to be approved by one motion. Tonight, we have approval of the October 6, 2025 Board of Aldermen meeting minutes, expenditures through October 15, 2025, and the September 2025 financial statement.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
A second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business. We do not have any unfinished business this evening, so we will move on to new business. The first item on the new business is discussion, consideration, and possible action for Bill Number 25-19 regarding an ordinance to vacate utility easements. Matt?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So the requested vacation of the easement is from Harvey Summers, the owner. He's applied to vacate approximately 5,739 square feet of utility easement in the Oak Grove Industrial Park, Lot 5, as well as Locust Park, 3rd Plat, Lot 11. The vacation of the easement has been publicly noticed. All relevant utility providers in the area were notified of the request to vacate the utility easement. There are no known utilities currently located within the easement. The city has not received any notifications regarding pending or planned utility installations in this area, nor does the city have any plans to utilize the easement for public purposes. The easement between those two lots primarily serves to provide utility access across those two parcels. However, the applicant intends to combine those parcels to facilitate the expansion of their existing business. The next steps for the applicant would be to do a minor plat to combine those lots and then come back with a site design plan review for construction of buildings over those lot lines, which would be eradicated with the minor plat as well as the vacated easement through this ordinance. The easement the applicant intends to expand their business, given the absence of the utility conflicts and the proposed consolidation of those parcels, as I mentioned. The vacation of this easement would not negatively impact public infrastructure or utility services. Additionally, the proposed vacation does not appear to negatively impact or injure any private rights, nor does it result in the loss of inconvenience to the public. At the Planning Commission's October 7th meeting, they held a public hearing and also rendered a report to the Board of Aldermen recommending that the vacation request be approved. Via our code, the Board of Aldermen is to look at vacation in easement requests and really find three things. Did the legal notice be given? Public notification was provided. Were there any private rights that would be injured for the vacation requests? And then would the public suffer any loss or convenience thereof? So with that, staff would recommend approval of the requested vacation. I'm happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Thank you, Matt. Does the board have any questions for Matt? Pam, do you have anything to say from the planning and zoning meeting?
No, because of the location of this, there wasn't, and because the utilities did not have any objection, there really wasn't much to discuss.
Very good.
I move for first and second reading by title only of bill number 25-19.
So Kelly's asking if we have a public hearing. We do not have a public hearing. We needed to have that at the planning and zoning. We do not have to have one now.
Perfect. I second.
We have a motion and a second. We have a motion and a second for the first and second reading of the proposed ordinance by title only. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. City Clerk, would you please read the full title of the bill 2 times?
An ordinance to vacate utility easements by Harv Summers, applicant for the property located at 156 Northwest 4th Street. An ordinance to vacate utility easements by Harv Summers, applicant for a property located at 156 Northwest 4th Street.
I move for adoption of bill number 25-19.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of bill number 25-19 to ordinance. Any discussion? If not, City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Melissa Johnson,
Yes.
Tracy Newcomer,
Yes.
Shane Shawbaker,
Yes.
Pam Pope,
Yes.
and Kelly Netto.
Yes.
The motion is approved, and the ordinance number is 2145 and is adopted. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a proposed application for a site plan review for a commercial development. Matt?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. A3G Architects, on behalf of the owner group LPA Development, has submitted a proposal for the construction of 3 industrial buildings within the Powell Industrial Park. This project is located within the vicinity of 5th Street and Powell Drive and is currently zoned M1 or light industrial. The proposed development includes 3 interconnected parcels totaling approximately 32,775 square feet of industrial space building. The 3 buildings are planned to accommodate 16 individual suites designed for a multi-tenant use. The architectural elevations submitted with the application show a combination of metal panels as well as a veneer of the building exteriors, and you have examples of that in front of you. The use of the metal in conjunction with stone or brick veneer requires approval from both the Planning and Zoning Commission as well as the Board of Aldermen. The proposed design aligns with current zoning and development standards pending the necessary approvals. As I mentioned, the proposed development is in M1. It complies with M1 zoning regulations, each lot maintaining a building coverage of less than the maximum 85% threshold. The site design meets or exceeds our landscaping, outdoor lighting standards, and other general zoning requirements. The parking requirements are also being met in accordance with the most recently revised parking standards found in our Unified Development Code. As part of the infrastructure improvements, an engineered retaining wall will be constructed along the north and southern areas of the property. Sidewalk extensions are planned along 5th Street, Powell Drive, and Powell Court. An access easement will be recorded across the 3 lots, so that the 3 lots will have shared access and driveways. Additionally, fire protection enhancements have been provided. There's going to be an installation of a fire line as well as a new fire hydrant. That way it will have overlap from multiple fire hydrants within the industrial park. The plans have also were provided to Snai Valley Fire Protection District, and they had no concerns. As I mentioned, the building elevations do combine metal panels as well as a stone veneer, and that does require approval from both Planning and Zoning and Board of Aldermen. At their meeting, Planning and Zoning recommended approval of the site plan with those materials. Upon review, city staff has looked at the site plan, associated building designs, and believes that they meet the general requirements of our UDC as well as goals within the comprehensive plan. Therefore, staff would recommend approval of the proposal. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions the board may have. There is also representatives of both AG3 Architects as well as the owner group here in attendance tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Pam, I'm going to let you speak if you have anything from the planning and zoning.
I think that I brought this up during the meeting, but the way you worded it, Matt, I just want to make sure that we confirmed the sidewalk situation. You said and Powell Court, but they're not really running in Powell Court, right? the sidewalk.
The portion, yeah, so along the edge of the cul-de-sac, there will be a sidewalk to the driveway.
To the driveway of each of the buildings?
To the driveway on the parcel on Powell Court, on the cul-de-sac. So there will be a sidewalk that extends on Powell Court, and then also on Powell Drive and Fifth Street.
Okay, because Justin said during the other meeting that it would dead end at Powell, I thought.
He did.
Well, it won't, I think what he maybe meant is that it's not going to go all the way around Powell Court. They're just going to extend the driveway through their portion
Okay,
of Powell Court, which is not then the remainder of Powell Court.
because there's another building there that
Yeah,
belongs
right.
to someone else. Okay,
Oh, okay, that makes
understand now.
sense.
That makes sense to me now. Thank you.
You have the drawing, correct?
We did.
Okay.
That-
That's
It's just kind of hard
Okay.
to see on
Yep.
the,
Would you like us to run a copy up for you?
that'd be great, if you don't mind. That'd
Did you bring can one of you please come up and state your name?
My name's Dustin Dronger, and I'm one of the owners of LPA.
Thank you.
So
Did you bring the samples of the exterior materials? We have photos, but did you bring the samples this time? Yeah.
We had left them last time, and they couldn't track them down at the end of the meeting to return them
Really?
to us.
Okay.
So they're in
So
your
sorry.
hands.
They're here somewhere. We're so sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
be- This section here?
You can stay right there in case they
I
have
was
any
gonna say,
questions,
I'm
if you
Amy
don't
Gray
mind.
with
Would you
A3G
state your name,
Architect.
please?
Okay.
Sure.
Oh,
Amy
okay, so
Gray,
then I-
A3G Architects.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, it goes past it. I see it, yeah.
You see it?
Yeah, I know what they're talking about.
I understand what they're talking about. Sidewalk. Pam, do you have any other updates from the planning and zoning meeting that you would like to?
I don't think so. This was
Okay.
pretty straightforward.
It was.
I really, it was, really well laid out.
Yes. They brought everything that was needed, is what we
Absolutely.
commented on. And as I stated, these are pictures of the samples. They were left here at our meeting, and I don't know where they were left, but we might be able to find them at some point in our building.
I think one of the planning commission members might have accidentally
Oh,
grabbed
took it in their
the
binder,
materials.
okay.
They do look much better, obviously.
They do.
I promise.
Yeah.
They do. Which, this doesn't look bad, so.
Any other questions or questions for the owner? All right, you may sit down.
Bless you.
This
This is not an ordinance.
I make a motion, we approve the site plan and design for the commercial development at Fifth Street and Powell Drive,
A second.
vicinity of that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the site plan and design review for the acreage in the vicinity of Fifth Street and Powell Drive. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is a presentation by Ward Development over Edgewood Farms. I got a tickle in my throat.
Well, something.
Good evening. My name is Brian Ron for the applicant Ward Development, 1120 Eagle Ridge Boulevard, Grain Valley. Thank you for giving me the time this evening. We've been working on this project for several years. Gone through several iterations and some different designs for the project, as far as, existing product that's, in the area. But it's a very unique site, and it has some challenges to develop it, but it also has some things that make it truly a beautiful site. So, as we've worked through it, these challenges have popped up, and, we've already been in front of you once before with a design, had smaller lots similar to, other product in the area. But as we moved that forward and got more of the engineering done, there was just more and more obstacles that come up. And it's so negatively impacted the site that we started to look at some other ideas. So just wanted to take a few minutes tonight to talk to you about what we have in mind and to get any feedback that you may have and an opportunity to answer any of your questions. You can go to the next slide. Oh, there we go. So, just basically what I just said, we're looking where, we want to make a more unique design of the neighborhood. These are larger estate lots. So unlike other projects that we have in the area, these lots are going to be 3 acres, all right, and larger, and they are going to be set up as, essentially estate lots. This will be a, move up from existing product that's already available in the city of Oak Grove. This will also give us an opportunity to expand architecture and some of those things that, as you look at the different projects, there's not that much of true custom that's going on. This will give us an opportunity to expand into that. So this is the overall changes here. We've gone from 300 and, I can't see that far, so I better pull mine. We've gone from 343 to 51 lots. As I said, they're 3 acres or larger. We've designed to keep key natural features. I don't know how many of you have ever been up on that site, but as you come into the site, you come up along that ridge line and there's the row of trees up through there, and you're looking down into the valley. The other plans where we've had has required us, we've been looking at literally blasting to make that possible right there, because it is just a hard rock ridge line. So rather than take that out, we're looking to preserve it now. We've added park spaces, we've added trails all through around that existing entrance that's there. The existing entrance would no longer function as the entrance to the community. So this new plan is going to, drastically reduce traffic. We're going from 300 to 50. So, there's going to be less, impact to 15th Street. We are going to be doing some widening at the entrance right there. We're going to be putting sidewalks along 15th. We're going to be landscaping that. Internally, we are looking to, as I mentioned, put a park there. There's a silo that's already, there. We're looking at building a park around that, a trail system that runs, off 15th Street up around that and back, and then, keeping that natural, well, it's not natural, it's planned that way, but a really long time ago, that tree line that runs through there, that would be part of our track and trail system. So, if you want to go to the next one. Talking about architecture, we are looking, this is going to be something a little bit different, where instead of 1 or 2 builders in a community, we are going to open this up a little bit more, and that's going to allow people to truly do some custom homes. We are expecting the price points are going to start at around $700,000 and go up from there. These would have on-site sanitary systems, and these would be, like I said, estate lots. There'd be some relaxing of what you could do with your lot, but architecturally, we're going to maintain a higher standard there. If you go to the next one. All right, so this just kind of lays out what we were talking about earlier with the buffers along 15th Street, the park, the trails, the landscaping. That main entrance that we're putting in right there is where we will be doing a turn lane coming in, similar to, I forget what the name of it is, but you have another project not far from here that recently went in that has that same kind of an entrance system. We would have an additional entrance that would be smaller, but this one would have, the main entrance would have all the widening and everything. So, the street system that we're designing for this would have a ribbon curb. I know years ago, Steve Bailey had this project and he was looking at some different, ways of doing the streets in there. And we also, talking with the staff here, we pointed out a project that we just finished up, the first phase of, down along 150. That's a similar type of project. Now that one had wider berms, not the curbs. In talking and stuff like that, we are intending to put a ribbon curb, so we have a, actual stop to the blacktop there, and then we would go natural with everything beyond that. So, the water, we would work through everything that we need to with staff, and we've had those discussions, and the study will be done to make sure that everything's in line with that. So with that, that kind of gives you the broad view of the project, and I'm more than happy to answer questions about the project and also how we got here, because I know we've been back and forth quite a bit.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Matt, maybe I should ask you, I'm curious, does the city have a minimum for septic as far as the lot size?
Yeah, so septic systems in the city of Oak Grove are permitted and inspected by Jackson County. And so all of these would need to be approved by Jackson County for septic systems. Generally speaking, they say new lots are a minimum of 3 acres.
Okay.
But that's not a guarantee. Jackson County often requires people to do percolation tests to make sure that there's enough availability in the soil to take the leach fields. But yeah,
I was
it would,
just
so it
curious
would
about
be,
that.
yeah, so it would be Jackson County that would be permitting those.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
So it would, I'm sorry, so it would be using city water, but you would have septic for sewer?
Correct. It would be city water. And then, with the sanitary systems, each lot would have its own on-site system. And as was just mentioned, we would be doing testing to make sure that the site's suitable for that. And that would be one of the things, well, it's one of the reasons that we're here tonight. Before we go down these paths, of testing and all of these things to make sure that that's suitable, we wanted to, see if that was something that, the city felt was appropriate use there, And so we would do testing for each lot and make sure that the soils are appropriate. Typically, there's a location for the system, a backup location in case there's ever a problem. And that's one of the reasons that they say 3 acres or larger. There are some areas that, they allow down to 1 acre, but, here it'd be 3 acres.
So with the amount of rock there, you're still confident, or you believe that the septics are going to work there?
We believe so, but that is definitely something that we're going to have to test for. We're not going to go so far down a path and then
Find out, right.
find out. But, those systems don't have to be nearly as deep as, some of when we were designing the the sanitary system, I don't know if anyone remembers, but at one point in time, we were even looking at a pressurized system here, to allow us to deal with staying out of that rock. And, we weren't able to get that, so we looked at other ways, and it just, we don't have to go nearly as deep, but that soil capacity, they come out and they test for all that.
Thank you.
So the reason that they're here tonight is for a presentation to see, just like he said, if you have any questions before they continue to move forward with their site plan review and, and things like that. So this is your time if you have questions or thoughts or concerns to bring those up. I guess I'll ask, you said a variety of builders will be building the homes. So that will be nice because then there'll be different floor plan or different, styles of homes. It won't be the same homes all on, all in the same area.
Correct. So, I'm not sure exactly whether it be 3 builders, 5 builders, whatever that'll be, or more. It depends on, could just straight sell lots to individuals with their own builder. I don't know exactly how that'll go, but what we're envisioning is, that not only are we trying to do a development that's uniquely dealing with the characteristics of the land, but we're hoping that the builders will design homes that are unique to that lot, to take it one step further. Because even once we get done with all this and we do 3 acres and stuff like that, they're still going to need their home to be somewhat located by the road and stuff like that. Well, some of it's steep and some of it has wooded areas and, where these sanitary systems are going to be located. So all these things are going to dictate, some characteristics of the lot that the builder's going to need to, address and design for. So this isn't like a typical development where you can have, 10 plans and essentially they most likely fit on any lot. No, there's going to have to be some thought on each home going in on each lot.
Absolutely, especially if you start at 750 and up. They'll be unique. I mean, 750 is not a lot nowadays, but, so can you bring that back up, Matt? I think it's unique. We don't have anything really like it at this time. And it's in a nice area. You know, it's still close to the main roads and to get into downtown. But I like how you're doing a park and the trails. And you are going to have sidewalks, or you are not? I
We're
know
only
that at
going-
one point, I thought you said you maybe didn't want to do sidewalks.
No, we would have sidewalks, you know, and trail system around the park and along, you know, the 15th right there.
Yes,
All right, but the actual internals, those lots are very, very large, and we do not have sidewalks. in
correct.
those.
You guys understood that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you said you've done another project off of, you say 150? And that everything went to plan there? There are not a whole bunch of vacant, big 3-acre lots everywhere?
No, as a matter of fact, you know, that's a brand-new development that just got finished, and the first phase is almost entirely sold out. So they're just now starting to go vertical there, and those are bigger. They're a little bit bigger lots. So, yeah, they sold very, very quickly. You know, now that's, you know, a little bit different community because it doesn't have curbs. Otherwise, it's very, very similar. So you know, it's called Heritage Farms, and I, you know, encourage you to go out if you get a chance, go take a look at it.
And where did you say the entrance is going to be?
So the entrance is right there. I don't know if we can. Yeah,
Where was that slide that it showed the park and the,
yeah, that may show
Sidewalk.
it best.
This one, Dana?
yes,
So that one is
I thought that would
the.
help you.
I think it's the 4th page,
Where's the, right there?
5th page.
Gibberish.
Yeah, that one. Kelly's got that one up. I think it showed her where the entrance is.
And so the entrance is going to be coming in right there, you know, close to where you see that sidewalk arrow. And that's,
That's way off.
I'm fairly sure that's the one that has the turning lane. Is that correct, Richard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's aligned with 12th Street, right across the
Yeah.
other side.
Aligned with 12th Street.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
got it? Okay.
Wow.
Any other questions?
It's exciting.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you for
Thank you
presenting
very much.
tonight. Yes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the mayoral reappointment of Dennis Evans to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Dennis's term was up, and I visited with him and asked him if he would like to serve another term, and he said, please. So it's always nice to have somebody that really wants to serve and have good input. So I'm asking to reappoint Dennis to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I would make a motion that we do reappoint Dennis Evans to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to reappoint Dennis Evans to Planning and Zoning Commission. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion and consideration for Bill Number 25-20 regarding an ordinance calling election for the City of Oak Grove on April the 7th, 2026. Kim?
This is the ordinance to call for election
Mm-hmm.
each year for the mayor and one alderman from each ward. The aldermen that are up is Shane Shawmaker, Ann Pope, and Melissa Johnson. Voting day is December the 9th, and closing is December 3rd.
Thank you. All right, this is an ordinance, just like it is every time we have an election.
I move for first and second reading of title only for bill number 25-20.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the first and second reading of the proposed ordinance by title only. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. City Clerk, would you please read the full title of the bill 2 times?
An ordinance calling an election in the city of Oak Grove, Missouri on April 7th, 2026. An ordinance calling an election in the city of Oak Grove, Missouri on April 7th, 2026.
Sorry, my brain stopped working. I move for adoption of bill number 25-20.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of Bill Number 25-20 to ordinance. Any discussion? If not, City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Melissa Johnson,
Yes.
Tracy Newcomer,
Yes.
Shane Shawbaker,
Yes.
Pam Pope,
Yes.
Kelly Netto.
Yes.
The motion is approved and the bill becomes ordinance number 2146 and is adopted. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action for Bill Number 25-21 regarding an ordinance amending the endangering of a welfare and child of the municipal code for the city of Oak Grove, Missouri. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. We're bringing a completed ordinance back for consideration, this with the work of Jackson, to make sure that we didn't change the overall aspect of how this ordinance for the city is already written. And while we did look at some wording in the sense of being very specific, we felt that in keeping with how this ordinance is already written, Jackson provided just the very succinct 1 or paragraph A, subdivision 2, just as the regular ordinance. So what this is saying is that if we adhere to Missouri state statute, we are adding the fact that our endangering their welfare does include parent or guardian allowing children who are repeatedly and without justification absent from school without cause. And it allows us to use that ordinance for that specific purpose along with the others that are already listed there. Like I said, I know we had a lot of conversation about how to keep that from being overwritten to where it gave too much power, but also making sure that it mirrors state statute, and this does, by using just the state statute language itself without adding anything, any feelings or any opinions the other way.
Very good. Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief?
I move for first and second reading by title only of Bill Number 25-21.
I second.
We have a motion and a second for the first and second reading of the proposed ordinance by title only. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. City Clerk, would you please read the full title of the bill 2 times?
An ordinance amending Title II, Chapter 210, Article 2, Section 210.180, endangering the welfare of a child of the municipal code for the city of Oak Grove, Missouri. An ordinance amending Title II, Chapter 210, Article 2, Section 210.180, endangering the welfare of a child of the municipal code for the city of Oak Grove, Missouri.
I move for adoption of Bill Number 25-21.
I second.
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of Bill Number 25-21 to ordinance. Any discussion? If not, City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Melissa Johnson,
Yes.
Tracy Newcomer,
Yes.
Shane Shawbaker,
Yes.
Pam Pope,
Yes.
and Kelly Netto.
Yes.
The motion is approved, and Bill Number 25-21 becomes ordinance number 2147 and is adopted. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action for a resolution regarding the City of Oak Grove, Missouri Land and Water Conservation Fund grant application. Scott?
Yes, so this is to apply for a grant with the Land and Water Conservation Fund. It is the primary grant for all municipalities, counties, and state parks. So if the board is to approve this resolution, it allows us to proceed in applying for the grant. Before you, it doesn't have a lot of information right now because we're still working through the grant, but it will focus on the areas that were found in the master plan that caused Webb Park to get only a good rating, and that was primarily due to the usability and the accessibility of our amenities, as well as the play features. So, for example, the swing set, I think it was put in 1976. It has a fall zone material of sand. It is still by far our most popular swing set because it's 10 foot, the height. People really like the tall swings. So this grant will try to keep the tall swings. It'll put a poured-in-place rubber below, but we will replace all the swings that are in that area. So then that will bring the color scheme kind of correct, matching the other playground that was just put in. We'll also look to add a more inclusive play feature for someone in a wheelchair, for example. So we'll try to improve upon some of the amenities to the swings. There will be paved paths that will follow the ADA compliance that allow you to get from one facility to another in a wheelchair. I'd be happy to answer any questions. It is a 50-50 match, so I'm thinking, we don't have the numbers exact yet, this is a 2027 project, so it's probably around $300,000 total cost, which will make our cost $150,000.
Very good. Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
Not anyone's fault, but that area is an eyesore now because of the great brand-new play equipment. It truly is. I mean, it just doesn't look like it goes there now, so that would be wonderful. But, Board, do you have any questions for Scott?
I agree, it's much needed, and as a parent, I would love to see the sand gone.
My kids love this hand.
She said as a parent.
Yeah, I know.
This is not an ordinance. Scott's just looking for approval, so I would need a motion or not for him to move forward with this grant application.
I would make a motion that we move forward with the application, grant application with the Missouri Land and Water Conservation Fund grant.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the resolution regarding the City of Oak Grove and the Missouri Land and Water Conservation Fund grant. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a request for the purchase of total works of 8 AED units and 6 cabinets. Scott, you again.
Yeah, so if you remember in the past, I brought this before to you, and I think that we were looking at a maintenance agreement with Cintas. That number was quite high when you can compare it to what this is. So that number was, I think, around $9,000 a year for their maintenance cost of the units. And so within 2.5 years, we will make up that cost. So this is by far the most economical way for the city to pursue. Getting competitive quotes is a little bit difficult. And so your third company that's listed there, CalMed, is just one of the many internet companies that are on there. And I just ran through the numbers to see how it would work out. The other 2 companies they have local sales reps, and obviously you trust that a little better, but they're still very competitive with your internet sales. I'd be happy to answer any questions. The type of unit was selected by myself because we're familiar with that type of unit, and it helps get accurate bids from the other ones to compare. I don't have any other knowledge of the AEDs other than we've used them at the pool and here and a couple other places.
Right.
But as far as like the annual agreement, that's required by the manufacturer to have it looked into. Much more economical in cost than what I thought it was going to be. So we're looking at, I think, $792 a year for that.
And it was 9,000? That was the other one we were looking at?
And that was just a maintenance agreement, so it was reoccurring until we stopped using it, so.
It was rental.
It was, renting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this going to get us AEDs everywhere we need them? I know there was a little bit of talk about.
So this is
maybe-
all our critical locations.
Okay.
We have, I think, 4 for sure that we have to have. And then these
Okay.
are the ones that staff feels like would need as well. So, and with this being a locked barrier between the 2, That's why we would need two in this
Oh,
facility.
that's why there's one up here.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so with all the customers and people
Mm-hmm.
that come to the lobby at City Hall, in case something was to happen,
Yep.
that's why it was chosen to have another one there.
Is there a reason there's not one at Lower Frick?
So we can look at that later, and I will, because they're coming up with some outdoor cabinets that are locked, and you wouldn't get the number until you call 911. I don't know if it's in our area yet, if that would work with our 911 system, but that is the new trend in parks, is having AED cabinets that are under lock outside. So when you call 911, they would tell you, here's the code to get in. I don't think we're quite there yet, but that is the national trend that's coming our way.
Nice.
I think this is a much better solution, Scott.
Yeah, thank you for researching it.
shopping.
Shopping, yes.
And one other thing I would like to add is this Zoll 3, it doesn't make you distinguish between the pads. So whether it's a child or an adult, it's the same pad. You just push a different button on the machine. The benefit of that is when the pads expire, you're only replacing one set of pads as to
good.
two sets. So you will save a little bit of money by not having to buy two sets for one unit of
Yeah.
pads.
Very good.
Seems much more economical than the last plan.
I make a motion we approve the purchase from Total Work Solutions of 8 Zoll 3 AED units and 6 cabinets in the amount of $20,748.
A second.
We have a motion and a second regarding the request to purchase from Total Work Solutions for AED units and cabinets. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a request to approve the bid for Premier for the fireworks display at the Sparks and Stripes event of 2026 through 2029. Scott?
So this one's a little bit more difficult. Both companies that submitted bids did an outstanding job and made it difficult to select a company. Premier is the company that we've used the last 3 years. J&M's the company we used the year before that. And then the company that we used prior to that went out of business. So if you look, we did, staff worked a long time breaking down the shell counts to try to be as accurate as possible. J&M provided 2 types of bids. One is an intimate, which is you'd see it. It'd be more beneficial if you're in the park. You wouldn't necessarily see it from your home in town. I don't think that's probably what our communities wants. I know a lot of people enjoy the fireworks show from their home. We still get a large turnout at Ben Oak, so we don't really need to compete with trying to bring more and make the town upset for not being able to see it from their house. But J&M still provided a tall show that would be, and it's competitive with Premier. Just looking at the numbers, we felt Premier was the better show. It's difficult in breaking it down, it truly is, and I'll be happy to answer any questions to try to help with that. So if you notice, Premier has a 12-inch shell, and so the shell's 12 inches, and it will go 1,200 feet in the air, and it'll be the largest shell ever launched in our area. So that'll be pretty neat for our 250-year celebration, which is next year.
That's right.
Scott, what was the cost approximately last year? I don't remember.
So I should have that all, 23,000, I think, somewhere around there.
Didn't take a giant jump.
Fireworks have gone up quite a bit due to some of the tariffs and some other things that went around, but they've come down a little bit, but they may go back up, so.
The question I would have is, you said they've been doing it for the last 3 years. Why the jump to 4 years in the contract?
So we typically do a 3-year contract. With next year being the 250-year celebration, we separate that out to try to do a major show. I think our local historical society is trying to help improve the event for next year for the celebration of the.
And is that why that one costs more than the rest, or is that just because
That
it was
is
the
correct.
first year of the contract?
We
Okay.
asked that show to be increased in size just for that celebration, and then the following 3 years will go back down.
Or do we have the dates?
Yes, July 3rd for all four.
All four.
All four.
And Premier is who we used last year?
Premier is, and there was a question earlier about the water cakes. The water cake that malfunctioned will not be in the show. They've deleted that from even their options to provide. The water cake that we've always had that's been successful, in fact, the one that was good that night,
Yeah.
that one's still in there. And we can take it out if you want it removed, but it is a popular attraction.
Yeah, it's one of the, yeah. I make a motion that we approve the bid for Premier for fireworks display at Sparks and Stripes event from 2026 through 2029.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second regarding the request for the approval of a bid from Premier Fireworks for the display of the Sparks and Stripes event of 2026 through 2029. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action for Bill Number 25-22, an ordinance amending Title I, Chapter 120, and this is in regards to meetings, records, votes to the public, etc. Chris, the floor is yours. We haven't got to have you be, an agenda item in
I don't know if my
years.
cord will reach. Thank you, Mayor. This ordinance is just an amendment to the city code to literally make our code match up with the state law changes that took effect August 28th of this year. And some of them are relevant to what the city does on a regular basis. Some of them aren't, but we just like to have the code match the state law. There are a couple things that are worth pointing out. One is that the statute changed in our code, if you adopt this, would also change to allow us to require payment of fees for copying at the time the request is made and prior to fulfilling the request. In the past, the state law said prior to making the copies. The reason that change came about is because there's issues around the state, and we've had that happen in multiple places too, where someone will come in and do a large sunshine law request, and you spend all the time and staff time and money making copies and things, and then they say, oh, never mind, I don't want it, or they just never show up to pick it up. So this will help address that. And the other thing they added in is there's at times you'll get a request and then the person just never responds again, but by law, we're supposed to fulfill it. Now we can make them pay if there's going to be a fee for it. It has some automatic cutoffs, so after like 90 days, if they haven't responded, by law, it's deemed to be withdrawn. They can always submit it again, but it's deemed to be withdrawn. But that's really significant changes. There's a couple more things they added on what are closed records. One that has to do with information regarding juveniles, keeping that closed, things like that. So. But again, it's just all designed to track exactly with the state law, just kind of keeping us up to date.
Yeah. Well, those changes, the ones about the records seem reasonable to have
Yeah.
someone pay ahead of time. Thank you, Chris. Does anyone have any questions for Chris? As he stated, this is an ordinance.
I move for first and second reading by title only of Bill Number 25-22.
Second.
Okay.
One of you.
I second it.
Okay. You got it, Kim? We have a motion and a second for the first and second reading of the proposed ordinance by title only. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. City Clerk, would you please read the full title of the bill 2 times?
An ordinance amending Title I, Chapter 120, Article 1, Section 120.020, meetings, records, and votes to be public, exceptions, and Section 120.130, fees of the municipal code of the City of Oak Grove, Missouri. An ordinance amending Title I, Chapter 120, Article 1, Section 120.020, Meetings, Records, and Votes to be Public, Exceptions, and Section 120.130, Fees of the Municipal Code of the City of Oak Grove, Missouri.
I move for adoption of bill number 25-22.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of Bill Number 25-22 to ordinance. Any discussion? If not, City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Melissa Johnson,
Yes.
Tracy Newcomer,
Yes.
Shane Strawbaker,
Yes.
Pam Pope,
Yes.
Kelly Netto.
Yes.
The motion is approved and becomes ordinance number 2148 and is adopted. The next item on the agenda is information reports. Matt, do you have one?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Chris? Thank you. Chief?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Kim?
No report.
Scott?
I believe the girls softball team advanced to district championship game, so they won 1-0. That's all I have.
Kelly?
Not really a report, more of a question and wonderment. Okay, thinking of houses in Oak Grove, in the neighborhoods. Some houses have house numbers on them, some have house numbers on their mailboxes. In my younger days, house numbers were painted on curbs in front of houses. And I was wondering how we go about, if that's something that we allow within the city, is that something that we don't? Because I've been doing little spark delivering on the side, and trying to find house numbers is almost impossible in the dark. So I didn't know if that was something that we even allow, or something that we could discuss, or guide staff to look into, or, yeah, that's it. Do you guys all know what I'm talking about?
I do. I've
Okay,
seen
okay.
them. They're usually in new subdivisions
Yeah,
or something.
it was all over when I was younger.
It would be, it's still a public street, so I think some of the things that first come to my mind would be that, city staff can look into it if that's what the board wants, to bring it to an agenda item, to do some research. But the things I think of are, you would have to put some type of in code, because if those areas
Yeah.
get damaged, it wouldn't be on the city to have to
Yes.
pay for them.
And you'd have to, would think there would be
And then,
guidelines and things like that.
yeah, the
about it.
cars that park on the street usually park on those when I see them, so you'd have to determine, would you want to put them close to the apron by the driveway or somewhere? There's just a few little things
Yeah.
that would need to be discussed and maybe looked at. Anybody else have any thoughts while we're talking about it?
It's probably a public safety concern. I know that once you have so many emergency calls, sometimes out in the country, they stake the red
Yes.
Yeah.
pieces out there so the ambulance can find you faster. So I'd like to hear what Chief Childs has to say. But
We could certainly bring examples from other cities that have allowed
Yeah.
addressing on curbs to a future board meeting for discussion.
Right. I've seen them. They look really nice when every
the uniform.
every house has them in
Yeah.
a subdivision.
Well, and not every house would be able to, because
know.
not every house has curbs.
That's
But
true.
I think it, yeah.
Yeah.
Something to look into.
That also, not every house has curbs, so they
Yeah.
would be random in different times. But
Yeah.
Okay, so you have direction to do that. Thank
Thank
you. Melissa?
No.
No report? Okay. Shane?
Nothing for me.
Tracy?
No report.
Pam?
No report.
And no report for me. I would ask someone to make a motion for executive session. Looks like you all closed your,
I make a motion, we adjourn to executive session 610.021, 1 and 2.
A second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn to executive session 610.021, 1 and 2. Any discussion? If not, City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Melissa Johnson,
yes.
Tracy Newcomer,
Yes.
Shane Strawbaker,
Yes.
Pam Pope,
Yes.
Kelly Netto.
Yes.
We are adjourned to executive session.